Okay. Whew. Let me tell you, not always easy to get things to work, but we're here now. And hello. Okay. And get my camera dolly ready, which is actually a cushion, a computer cushion. Shit. Sorry. Almost put myself off the, almost took myself off the thing. Okay. And I have Paul
Hi,
is
Ocean.
now added to the stream. So just hang on a moment, Paul. We don't have anybody just yet, figuring out that we're here. So I'm going to do my blurb at the beginning that I usually do, okay?
Okay.
Oh, we do have somebody.
Can you hear me?
Hello, Gladys Kravitz. Hi. Yeah, I can hear you, Paul. Can you hear me?
Yes, very well. Very good.
Good. Hi, everyone. Yeah. Hi, Gemini. And Gladys, you came from SOR, didn't you? I think I saw you over there. Okay. Um, okay, tonight, before I get into all that, I'm going to say I am Deocean Swagger, and this is Deocean's Deep Woo. And what do? We do woo. We do all kinds of woo. Everything metaphysical, magical, and paranormal is on the table for discussion on this channel. So we have, you know, uh, all kinds of woo for you. And the other thing I have to say is if you are an experiencer, you're in the right place because we have many experiencers that come in here. If you are not an experiencer, but you think you might be, that you're still in a good place because we can help you figure it out. And if you're just curious, that's fine too, because we are happy to help you understand more about what's going on. And also, must say, is that we may have some of that happening, okay? What happened right there, because I've been having some internet issues. Oh, you do woo? Well, good to know you. Okay. So, okay, next order of business is please respect the opinions of others because we respect you. And remember, this is just tips, tricks. See how that's doing. Oh, God. I hope we get through this stream. Tips, tricks, and hacks for that massively multiplayer, total immersion, virtual reality learning game matrix called Life on Earth. And it has nothing to do with real life, okay, which takes place outside the matrix. And we seem to have another guest who is also Paul Christian. No, I think I'll go with the original one. Somebody's tried to clone you, Paul.
Oh, great.
Oh, that's great. Okay. The AI is maybe not liking this one too much. So we'll just kind of be nice to nice AI. We love you. Um, okay. So with that, we're going to talk about something fun. Mass formation psychosis. Yes, some of you might have heard of this. And I know I've mentioned it before, and some of you knew what I was talking about. But let's go into the particulars. And Paul is going to do that. Of course, I want to say this has absolutely no bearing on anything that's happened recently at all. This is just looking into a form of psychosis. Okay? Thanks. Okay. Go, Paul. You're on.
Okay. Um, yeah, the
Oh
author.
gosh, I'm so sorry. This is my friend Paul Christian. He's been on before, and as you read, he should have a bunch of just a bunch of certificates on his wall for metaphysics. Okay, and healing and Reiki master and Amanahuna and all kinds of metaphysical interests. So, and learning, very learned, and more books than I even have in my library. So there you go, Paul. Now,
Okay.
sorry about that.
Thank you, Ocean. Um, a lot of my information is taken from Matthias Desmet, and um, so he prefers to just call this mass formation. Okay, so it is popularly known as mass formation psychosis, but he prefers just the term mass formation. Now, before we get into that, let's kind of set the stage a little bit. Um, Before the Industrial Revolution, let's say, we're back several hundred years ago, and I'm a rich guy, and I have horses, and I want a saddle. Okay, I want this really nice saddle. So I go to the leathersmith and I tell him just what I want. I will tell him how I want it to look, and he takes notes, and then he works for the next 2 weeks and makes this beautiful saddle. And then he either brings it over to me or I come over to pick it up. And we already had one face to face, and now we have another face to face, and he hands me this beautiful saddle. I'm like, oh, Samuel, this is beautiful. Thank you so much. This is exactly what I wanted. Okay. And then I pay him for the saddle. So there's a face to face. So the craftsman works on something. And now this could be anything. I just used this example, but you get to see your customer, and you see the smile on their face, and you shake their hand, and there's an exchange of money, or perhaps maybe some barter or something, but there's personal contact, and there's tremendous job satisfaction. Now, you could be a farmer with a vegetable stand, but you're still, a pre-industrial revolution, you're having a face-to-face with your customers. Oh, Fred, that corn tastes so good. You know what I mean? There's this back and forth, and again, tremendous job satisfaction. You make some product and you're really proud of that, and people give you feedback that this is such a wonderful product. So now, and it's like life has meaning. So now comes the Industrial Revolution, and you're working, say, 12 hours a day at a loom making cloth, or you're in a auto factory and you're putting a nut on a bolt all day, and you never see your customers. They're faceless. You go there, you get paid, you go home, have a few beers, you know, get up the next day and do the same thing all over again. And uh, uh, there's very little job satisfaction, which causes like this free floating anxiety. You're not sure what you're anxious about, but it's like a existential angst. Life has kind of lost some of its meaning, some of its satisfaction. So, okay, now I've set the stage. So when we're talking about this mass formation, there's some essential ingredients. And one of them is this free-floating anxiety that now is just sort of a societal malady. And also the fact that your customers are faceless, no interaction, people start to feel disconnected. So there's two things, this free-floating anxiety and a sense of disconnectedness. So in that situation, if someone who wants to exert control then tells you, oh, this situation here, this is what you should be afraid of. Okay, whatever that situation is, okay, they give you a target for your free-floating anxiety, a definite, tangible target. And then they tell you, and here's the solution. If you do this, then you're going to be okay. So people latch onto that in droves because being part of this new group, okay, you've given an actual tangible target to your anxiety, and then you're given a solution, and then it's like you're connected again because now you're part of a new group that is doing whatever you've been told that this is going to keep you safe. And thousands or millions of people are doing that thing, then being part of that new group gives you a sense of connectedness. Okay? And it quells that anxiety. So, whether what's being told to you is true or not, sometimes is a matter of perspective. But this is how people control societies. Okay, it's a step-by-step process.
Back in the Old West, wouldn't that be a snake oil salesman?
That would be one form of that. Yeah, take this, and it'll cure whatever ails you. And a lot of times it was, crabgrass and mud, with a little water added, and
or an evangelist, or a witch hunter.
What? Yes. So yes. Now that, like the Salem witch, trials, the what happened in World War II overseas. These are examples. Okay. Now, when people all of a sudden they feel part of this new group, and that gives them this sense of security and this sense of belongingness, and they will do almost anything to stay part of that group. including turning in their neighbors who are not following the rules, of turning
Which
in
did happen.
and turning in their own family members, of becoming people, the normal person on the street who before would never think of doing anything unkind. Suddenly, it is people that they view as not conforming, as not part of the group, become the enemy. And it could be a close family member, a close friend, whatever. Suddenly, they're to be feared. They're to be ostracized. And back in
And
the
they're doing this because to them they're saving people. They're
yes,
doing the right.
this is so
They're
deep.
saving lives, maybe even.
They think so, but it goes so deep because this sense of belongingness, it's a real heart issue, and it's so important to feel, like having lost that connection with people. Now you feel a connection with this new identity, with this new group, and you'll do almost anything to keep that connection with the new group. Okay, so I hope that really I tried to outline this. It's a very, very deep psychological, emotional dependence on being right. That there's a tremendous investment. Religion has used this. Being part of the group. We're the ones that are going to heaven. We're the only ones that are going to heaven. That kind of thing. So this can be used in many different avenues to promote conformity to whatever someone wants that, and people will do almost anything in order to maintain that sense of belongingness. So any questions?
Um, oh, by the way, hi, Project Sky Falls and hi, Bomber. We are having trouble connecting for chat. I cannot chat with you. I am getting messages that I keep trying and I cannot chat with you. But I will put any questions on the screen so that Paul can answer them.
I see
Okay?
one. I see one question, Ocean. There's a good question. What's the
Okay.
contrast with group
By
conscious?
the way, Paul, you're coming in very digital. You got everything closed?
Yes, I think
Okay.
the sound sounds good. I'm afraid to
Okay.
close the. I'm afraid to close the email account.
Oh, don't. You can close that.
I
You're
can
not
close.
going anywhere.
All
If
right.
if I need to re-invite you, you just come into the
All right.
chat. You just come in like you would on YouTube, and I can re-invite you.
I did it. Is that better? Is that an
Yeah.
improvement? Okay. Let's. There's a good question. What's the contrast with group consciousness? And there, this would be a group consciousness. That would be almost like a group hypnosis. Um, Now, group consciousness is, I would say, this is a larger category. Ocean disappeared again. I'll wait for her to get back. There you are. Okay, I was just saying, can you hear me, Ocean?
Yeah, Paul,
Yes. Yeah, you blinked out. Okay, now this group conscious.
we've got you. Yeah.
Okay, group consciousness is a larger category. That could include almost anything. Um, there's one of my clients who is extremely empathetic, and he'll call me up um, and say, Paul, I'm having these terrible thoughts. I must be a terrible person that I'm having these awful thoughts. And then I have to tell him, those aren't your thoughts. He's so empathetic, he's picking up on the group consciousness. There's a lot of fear, and there's a lot of anger out in our collective consciousness. And so I, I was at this psychic fair many years ago and walking by where a speaker was speaking, and I heard one sentence, and that was what I needed to hear. He said, on any given day, about 50% of your thoughts are actually yours. So people pick up on.
Wait, that didn't come out clear. On any given day, 50% of what?
50% of your thoughts are actually yours.
Ah, yes.
So especially, I mean, people like you, Ocean, who and some, I'm sure that some of your followers too, are very empathetic. People who read
Oh, yes.
tend to be very empathetic and sensitive. That your percentage might be even higher. That you pick up on the group consciousness, the world consciousness, and there's all kinds of awful things out there, but there's also really beautiful things. So that's why it's ever more important to keep our vibration high, to spend our time, whatever we do, whether it's meditation, yoga, Reiki, um, reading inspirational things, prayer time. It's really important for us to cultivate that higher vibration. Some of us, we connect with Archangel Michael, or one of the ascended masters, or the Andromedans or Pleiadians, or whatever it is we connect with. We connect with higher vibration, and we let that higher vibration. So basically, whatever vibration we're vibrating at, it's like, well, that's what we've tuned our radio station to. Okay, so do you want to listen to punk rock, or do you want to listen to beautiful healing music? Okay, so wherever like many years ago, I tended to be kind of like going down quite a few rabbit holes with conspiracy
Is
theories.
anybody else getting this very, very digital version of Paul's voice? Is this same interference that I'm getting going onto the recording, or is it just me that's not here, Paul, because of this digital noise? Okay, I need some cues from the audience. Are you hearing Paul all right? Are you hearing me okay? Hi, sweetly morbid bear. Paul sounds great. Okay, yeah, I probably have a bad connection. It keeps giving me all kinds of weird prompts. So anyway, go right ahead then, Paul.
Yeah, your picture gets a little wavy occasionally, Ocean.
Right.
So
Something is going on this end, probably. That
okay.
doesn't surprise me. Okay.
So so keeping our vibration up very much determines what we're going to connect with. Oh, I remember what I was saying. I was talking about, being, the old me, kind of Mr. Conspiracy Theory, and there's just disturbing things going on in the world, and I found myself being angry a lot of the time. And suddenly one day I said, "Oh my God, what am I putting out into the world? I'm I'm part of the problem. I'm putting anger out into the world." So now I have to walk this fine line now because I need to be able to make informed choices for myself, like what I'm going to eat, how I'm going to live my life. So I need to know what's going on, and also people come to me for advice. So I need to know what's going on without driving myself crazy and being angry all the time. And sometimes it's maybe, that I maybe take some of this awful information and take it into prayer time. Andrew Harvey, he's a spiritual teacher, he said the the thing that he did, like if there's something in your life or something that's happening in the world that you just can't stand, it just really bothers you, and you really feel powerless to do anything about it. You're just an average person on the street. You're not high up in politics, or you're not a millionaire, so you feel like there's not much you can do about it. So what Andrew Harvey suggested is bring that issue, whatever it is, to mind, and think about it, and bring that right down into your heart, and let yourself feel whatever the emotions whatever the emotions are. Let yourself feel that, and then whatever spiritual entity you work with, whether it's Jesus or Buddha or Krishna or Muhammad or Moses or um, um, Archangel Michael or whatever it is, ask them to come into your heart and help you to heal that, so that you're actually.
I have so many times asked, I have had to say, because and some of you know, I've been dealing with a lot of emotional upset from lots of sources, from a lot of things. Right now, we're going through a time when, I'm just going to interject here a minute. We're going to go through a time, especially at this time, you're going to find yourself probably going through a lot of old emotions that you thought you had gotten rid of. You thought you got the charge off of them. You thought that you were over and done with all this stuff. The time period that we're in right now, many people are finding those things are coming back up. I would ask you to consider that this may be coming off in layers, and you may have to go through several layers in order to get this stuff off. So I am always asking my angels, help me with this. I am always asking my guides, help me with this. And they do. So please go on, Paul.
Yeah, that's a very good point. I was just talking to a friend recently, and we talked about this. There's something, we've done our forgiveness work, and um, done all kinds of healing work, and our life is so much better. And then suddenly an old emotion pops up, and it's like, you again. I thought I dealt with you. Okay. So what we talked about, it's like it goes in spirals, and the spirals keep getting wider and deeper. So things keep returning, but at a deeper level, because we need to revisit that forgiveness work or whatever, because some of this actually goes into what I call cellular memory. And I like to describe it as, okay, I've done all this forgiveness work, and like I'm so much
Shadow
happier.
work,
My
some
life
of you
is
call
better.
it.
What was that? What was that, Ocean?
Teal Swan calls it shadow work too, going into your
Yes,
shadow
yes.
and
Okay.
dealing with that.
So we've done all this work, but my liver's down there saying, well, nobody talked to me. There's 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 this cellular memory where some trauma is stuck in our body. So sometimes when these things come back around, this is the time to do that deeper work and let go of that deeply attached, something that might have happened when we're, 3 or 4 years old. So,
Well, there's really a lot of people, and of course, as a reader, and by the way, I am a reader, you guys. That's another thing I do, and if you're interested in that, I'll put my banner up. But there's you can get in touch with me at oceandiana@gmail.com. And we do have a group over on mewe.com called Galactic Woo Crew, and you are welcome to belong to our wonderful Woo Crew, and you'll love them. Okay, they're nice people. This is just a place to hang our hat, place to leave our comments and our posts. We're not much on social media. Not many of us are much for being on a lot of social media. So I can tell you from being a reader, everybody seems to be going through these layers, layers, and layers. And so if you're revisiting something, don't think that you didn't do it the first time. It's just another layer deep that you're going. So it's still happening. You're working on it. You're doing what you're supposed to be doing. But right now, we are in the Lionsgate time. It's going to hit its zenith on the 8th of August. And you may find it, and we have a lot of solar activity. And the sun does affect us because we live here on this planet. And you should figure that you're going to have some things happen during this time. You may even, now this is absolutely no medical advice whatsoever, but a lot of us have gotten physically ill with no particular cause. I mean, but when we come back out of it, we find that we're feeling a lot better. So it's almost as if we had to go through this illness almost as a healing crisis emotionally. And during this time, a lot of us have had a lot of emotional stuff come to us to be gotten rid of. So if you are going through that, this is not unusual, and you are right on time. So there is nothing exactly wrong with you. If this is happening, if these things are coming up, not really wrong with you. This is actually something going right with you, because this is baggage you need to drop before moving on into the next D5, as we say. Okay? Before moving on into the next realm, so to speak. Okay.
I did see one.
Okay.
I did see one comment. A sense of humor helps. And I agree with
Yes.
that. Ocean can attest that I have a rather wacky sense of humor, and it's really saved me in a lot of stressful situations. So that was a good comment. Thank you.
Yes, keeping a sense of humor and not taking everything personally. Actually, don't take things personally. The whole human species is going through stuff. And I have to warn you, I did a reading today. Well, there's going to be stuff. Okay, there's stuff coming. Even if you have stayed awake and paid attention and kept up with what's going on in the world, which I recommend you do, just don't stew over it. Don't sit in it and saturate yourself with it. Just, oh, is that what's going on? Okay. And take it in and just kind of, oh, okay, as information, try to stay less emotional. Try to not get too emotional over it, and ask for help if you can't do that, because this is what we are going to hear increasingly weird stuff. It's going to get weirder. I mean, a lot weirder. Okay, you think it's weird now. It's literally looks like people are going to be losing it completely right off the deep end. And when the truth does finally break loose and come out, which is coming soon to a planet near you, to a reality near you, the truth is going to come out. And when it does, and I will do more about this reading. I may tonight, or I may save it for next time. It was a very elaborate reading, kind of sparked off by somebody else's reading. But honestly, when all of this comes out, there are people who are going to be very hurt. They're going to be, no, that's not even half of it. There are people who are going to be devastated, destroyed. They're going to be just unable to handle. There will be many people who will be unable to handle the truth. Seriously. Well, even though this is why it's coming out kind of in dribs and drabs and sort of slowly. They're trying to do it slow. I mean, the good guys who are working on this are trying to do it slow enough that we can assimilate it. At least some of us can assimilate this, because the truth is so deep and convoluted and will piss you off so much that if it came out all at once, it would be actually completely destructive. Our society would probably just go nuts and just burn.
Can I interject something here, Ocean?
Sure.
You remember our friend Ken Harsh? You know, the
yes.
metaphysical wild man from Columbus. That he's
oh, I remember him. I'm sure he's listening somewhere, wherever he is now.
He's in the higher realms now. But one of Ken's favorite sayings was, a negative prophecy that is fulfilled is a failed prophecy. The reason people are given a prophecy, a negative prophecy, is so that something can be done about it. Now, even like the best reader comes up with something, oh my God, this terrible thing is going to happen. That is a probability line. Okay, if I'm running full tilt toward the edge of a cliff and Ocean, you yell, Paul, stop, it's like, and I don't stop, then I'm going to go over the cliff. Okay, but if I stop, then that probability line just collapsed.
Right.
In our prayer, our healing work, our Reiki, whatever it is we do, and it really doesn't matter what each individual does, as long as it has meaning within your own heart and it's sincere, it's going to have a positive effect. And we can send out, like there were predictions in the 70s that California was going to go into the ocean. But Native Americans got into their medicine wheels and did ceremony, Reiki practitioners sent Reiki. More traditional people sat down and prayed. Okay, there was all this tremendous energy that went out. And guess what? California's still there high and dry, you know? So that prophecy, and it can be changed. It's only a probability line.
Yes.
Yeah.
And actually, everything we do, everything, and don't think you're not important. And what's happening to you and what you're going through is not important. I got a very strong message today that many of you are cutting a path for everybody else. What you're going through, the whole world is going to be going through. You are making the way. By getting through this, what you're going through, you are finding the way. You are making the path for people that are going to come after you. That's what you're doing. So as you go through these things, you who know something about what's going on, as you go through all of your anger, fear, doubt, sadness, sorrow, whatever you're going through, guilt, whatever it is you're going through, you are actually, by going through that and finding your way out, you are actually blazing a trail for everybody that comes after you. And there will be many who will need to go down that trail. So you are really, really the brave ones going out there and facing all this. Okay? So give yourself a pat on the back for that, and never feel like you're not making a difference. And every single one of you that does anything to raise the vibration and make it better, you're doing this for the whole world. The whole world is depending on every one of us. We all make a difference, every one of us. Okay, there's my little soapbox. Go ahead, Paul.
Yeah, that was great. That was good, Ocean. Now, there's a really good question here. What is the cure for anger, anyhow? Forgiveness? And I'd like to talk about this. Something happens, somebody does something against us, and we get angry. So there's this process that goes on internally that we don't want to forgive. We want to hold on to our anger because we think if we forgive the other person, that means they got away with it. And we don't want them to get away with it. Okay. So it's kind of like this inner dance we do inside. So holding on to our anger is kind of like revenge against that person who did, and they may have done really an awful thing. But the forgiveness isn't about the other person. You've probably heard the old saying that holding a grudge is like drinking poison and expecting the other guy to die. Okay, it just doesn't work that way. So we do our forgiveness work for ourselves so that we can then have a happy and fulfilling life. Because a lot of times the other person, we're holding on to this anger for 10, 12 years, and the other person's just walking down the street whistling. They don't even remember what the hell happened. So we're not hurting them. We're hurting ourselves.
Right. We're not really hurting them, going over and over these things.
Right. So the forgiveness is about ourselves, so that we can then to let go of that anger, and sometimes we will need help with that. So those of you who work with angels or ascended masters or like to pray directly to God, whatever it is, ask for help, whatever your guidance is. Ask for help with, I'm really having trouble forgiving this and letting go. Those beings of light, God, him, herself, will be absolutely delighted to help us with that forgiveness work. So
Yeah.
that's really, that's my spiel on the forgiveness and letting go of anger. And I've had to do a lot of that work.
And I have been spreading it too, and many of us have been doing this spreading of it because honestly, this word is because honestly, it's the only thing you can do. You cannot, at this point, trying to go back and change anything that happens in the past is just not on the table for you. That may happen someday, but there are always consequences to these things. Now, shamanically, it can be done, but there are sometimes consequences to these things. So you have to be careful with this whole idea. But yes, it can be done. But realize, I mean, we've had a lot of warnings about what can happen when you try to do that. So even going back in your mind over old ground is setting up a vibration. It's not healthy. Okay? And remember, you are creators. What have I always said from the very beginning? You are divine. You are creators. What you hold in your mind and in your heart, you create. Therefore, more anger, law of attraction. You don't get more of what you want, you get more of what you are. If you are angry and resentful, then that is what you get more of. So remember that. And
Yeah.
you are in charge of your emotions. And if you can't do that alone, you can ask for help.
Yep, that's really a good point. That's like karma 101. You know, whatever you send out, that's what's going to come back. And there was a very wise lady that was talking and saying that we don't always get what we want or what we need. We get what we expect.
That's what Mick Jagger said. No, I'm
Now, this was actually a Unity minister. Um, okay, I don't know if Ocean just wigged out again. I don't know if you can hear me, but the thing about there, I think Ocean's coming back. I'll wait
oh boy.
again.
Come
Okay.
on, nice AI. Don't you like Mick Jagger? Come on, AI. Come on. You like Mick Jagger, don't you?
So let's talk about expectation. Okay, what do we expect out of life? Now, the world seems to subscribe to Murphy's Law. Anything that can go wrong will go wrong. Well, of course it rained. I just washed the car. Okay. So if that's our expectation, our entire energy field becomes a giant electromagnet specifically attuned to the vibration of trouble. And we draw that trouble to us. It manifests in our life, and then we go, see, I knew that was going to happen. This crap always happens to me. But what if our expectation was God's grace just flows into my life and blesses me every day? What if that was actually our expectation? Then our energy field would be charged up and specifically tuned to the vibration of divine grace. And we would pull that divine grace to us, and it would bless us, and it would bless all those around us, and it would confirm our belief, the most wonderful things are always happening to me. So
Yeah.
our expectation is always a self-fulfilling prophecy. No,
Um,
no matter what you believe, you're going to be right.
uh, and no matter where you go, there you are.
Yes.
But I always say when lately, and it's been working really well, and you might want to use this, and if so, you're welcome. When I lay down, and sometimes I feel like I gotta lay down, and I don't fight it anymore because if I fight it, I get sick, and then I must lay down. When I feel like I gotta lay down, I'm getting told it's time for you to lie down now. We need to work on you. Okay? If you're getting this too, this may be your case too. And when I lie down, I say, okay, I expect that when I wake up, I am going to be more healed and thinner. It seems to be working. So, just a thought. Your thoughts just before you sleep are very important because your subconscious are going to work on it. Your subconscious is going to work on it the whole time.
I'd like to add another dimension to that because you're absolutely right, Ocean. You're absolutely right. On the other side are hospitals. They're not exactly like the hospitals here. Thank you, God. Um, but there are hospitals in the higher realms, and that I know this because sometimes when I sleep at night, I go and I do my healing work over there. Um, and if you're troubled or if you have an illness or aches and pains or whatever it is you're going through, a situation in your life, you can ask whatever beings of light you work with, ask to be taken to the spirit hospital when you're sleeping. Ask that your spirit, your soul, be taken to the spirit hospital and ask them to do healing work on you during the night while you're sleeping. And you may wake up feeling a whole lot better. So I've had people that's really, it's changing their life that they're doing that.
That's basically, yeah, it's the same thing because some of us call in the Arcturians. I know somebody who does that because the Arcturians will come in and do healings. Some of them work that way. In fact, like I said, most of our close friends are coming from the Sirius system. And by the way, if you didn't hear on the last show, Lionsgate is a time on the 8th when our sun lines up with Sirius, the Syrian sun. So I expect to be hearing a lot more from our friends from Sirius. And by the way, I was remote viewing on John's show on Saturday night and ended up on a Syrian craft with some blue guys instead of where I expected. Well, that was one time I got something I didn't expect. Is like I was on a ship with blue guys looking RVing. And so they're definitely around. We're going to be hearing from Sirius, you know. We'll go into that more a little bit later, okay? Maybe tonight, maybe tomorrow, or maybe Wednesday. We'll see how it goes tonight. Let me see what kind of time. Okay, we're almost an hour. Good.
Yeah.
Definitely, we got to go into questions. We're going into questions. Anybody have questions?
Speaking of the spirit hospitals, I want to put a plug in for a good movie. It's called Astral City. Now, it is in Portuguese with English subtitles. And I don't usually like movies with subtitles, but the first time I watched this, I probably cried 3/4 of the way through the movie because it was so touching to me. Because it's about this one person's journey in being of crossing over in kind of a negative space, and then finally allowing himself to be taken to a spirit hospital. And it's his journey there.
Mm-hmm.
They actually show the healing work done on him. It is, and um, the city, the city that the hospital is in is absolutely just beautiful beyond description.
I'm trying to post a comment. Gladys said, oh, yeah, Bomber. There's Bomber, but I'm trying to put Gladys's on. Gladys, okay, Sweetly Morbid Bear said, probably, yeah, we work while we sleep. Many of us do. Some of those people in those spirit hospitals working on people are some of you.
And there was one of my friends who, she was rather a shy, meek person, but apparently when she fell asleep at night, she was Xena, warrior princess of the universe, going out and um, defeating darkness. But she would wake up every morning feeling beat up. So the advice given was that before she go to sleep, that she should ask for protection, and she should set the intention of maybe pacing herself a little bit. That she didn't have to get it all done in one night.
No, you don't have to get everything done in one night, but some of us definitely have our superhero suits tucked in a corner of our astral closet.
Yes.
Right.
But
I know I do.
We we can't do the universe any good if we end up sick and hurting ourselves. So we have to take care of ourselves, and that could include, psychic hygiene, proper diet, getting enough rest, that kind of thing. And then we're taking care of this sacred temple of ours so that our soul can do this work really efficiently. And
right. Put your own oxygen mask on first.
Yes. Because this is part of how, as healers, we get back to having a fulfilling career. Is that we don't the spiritual idea that God requires sacrifice is an old, outdated concept, and unconditional love does not require any sacrifice. As a matter of fact, if we're in line with divine will, it's always win-win.
Right. Everybody wins. There is no need for sacrifice.
Yes.
That whole thing is very scary. And the more that you think about it from the outside, if you were to look at that from the outside, the scarier it looks.
Mm-hmm.
That people believe that there had to be some kind of sacrifice for their sins. I'm sorry. I believe in God, for sure. But I believe that God is everything. And I believe in the one they call Jesus. But I know that that was never his name. And I can give you, I did a very deep dive on that for years because I grew up Christian. And I can tell you a lot about that. And I'm not here to argue with anybody or displace any of your beliefs. But I am going to say, think about what would your beliefs look like to an ET that had never heard them before. What would that look like? Some guy had to die on a cross. The Son of God had to die on a cross. Oh, that's horrible. I mean, just on the surface of it. Okay, I'm not going to go into it too deep, but you see what I mean. There are some symbolic meanings to it. There is a lot to it, and we could go into that on this show. There are so many people going into that. I don't go into it too much. But the truth is, more like every rabbit hole, you get to the bottom, you find a whole bunch more rabbit holes.
Mm-hmm.
And the deeper you go, the more rabbit holes there are. It's like a maze. And you don't want to get caught up in that. So finally, I quit looking at that, quit trying to figure that out. There is a being that answers to that name, Jesus, that will help you. It helps people. That's all really, that's not his name, but he'll answer to that. And a lot of times you'll hear the ascended masters or somebody channeling say, the one they call Jesus, because they know that isn't really his name. But that doesn't mean that a being like that didn't exist. That just means that the story that we were told once again is a story. And the book that it's written in, that story is written in, didn't even begin to get written until hundreds of years afterwards. So,
yeah,
just so you know.
When you're translating from Aramaic to Greek or Latin, things can, names can change. The interesting thing, the letter J did not even exist in the English language until about 400 or 500 years ago. There was no letter J. So that, so how could, 2,000 years ago, his name be Jesus? Because, so it was actually Yeshua, but.
Would have had to be Yeshua, more like Yeshua, yes, because J didn't exist.
Right. So.
I mean, there's so many things like that. And like, once again, that doesn't mean that this being that everybody sees, I mean, then some people say it's a tulpa, some people say it's this, and some people, but there actually is a being that helps people, that will answer to that name.
I have personally experienced that presence.
Yes.
An absolutely pristine divine light. That it was just the most stunning presence.
Like everything else, they tried to grab it and corrupt it and use it for their own ends. All of this, everything.
Yes.
Everything pure, everything good, the goddess worship too, everything, the nature spirits, the elementals, everything that anybody, every good thing that anybody ever brought forth, all music starts out pure. Music starts out pure. None of it is what you call devil music. It never starts out that way. When it is beamed through to us, it comes through our filters, and as it comes through whoever's filters it comes through, and songwriters can attest to this. It's like it comes through you. Most of the time when you write music, it comes through you. You do some of the work, but it comes through. And who it's coming through is going to influence a great deal what that music is like. So it can get corrupted along the way. Everything can. So every religion and everything that comes through right now, this is the inverted matrix. It will not always be this way. The inverted matrix is getting righted. So, and Sweetly Morbid Bear, I want to say thank you so much for your kind comment. That is a very kind comment. And Circle K, the biggest secret they've kept from us is that we are creating our reality, whether we know it or not. Exactly. Yeah. and they have been using this against us. This has been used against us for a long, long time, way too long. So it's time for us. It's time for us to use it for us, for our benefit, as it was meant to be, really, for the benefit of all. And thank you, Bear, for coming. That's a very kind comment. That's a very sweet comment. Okay.
Well, Ocean,
So,
I need to sign off now. But thank you for having me on, and thank you, listeners, for your good questions and your attention. And bless each and every one of you.
bless everyone and everything. Every time I eat, I say, bless every being that had a part in bringing me this wonderful food.
Yes.
And Paul, it's been wonderful having you on. We hope to have you on again real soon. As a matter of fact, I'm kind of thinking if you want to, you can come on pretty regularly, like maybe once a week or something.
Well, I'm working on. I've been doing a deep dive on reincarnation, and
That's
for the
something we could cover.
first 550 years of the Christian Church, reincarnation was the thing. Okay, so I'm beginning to unfold the story, and this story is like juicy gossip of
Yep.
how it got removed. So maybe we can do a deep dive on that another day.
That sounds good to me. Well, you guys heard. It's going to be a wonderful, wonderful deep dive on that. Then
Yes.
I think, and I know a little bit, but I think you've probably been studying it a little more. I can't wait to hear.
Yeah,
I cannot wait.
I'm not done with my research yet, but I know enough now that it's an actual history lesson that reads like juicy gossip. It's really an interesting story.
Sounds exactly like we want to hear. We want to spill the tea, Paul.
All right.
Spill the tea. Thank you so much for being here tonight. It's been awesome. All the information is really awesome.
Well, thank you for having me, Ocean, and good night, everyone, and bless you.
And the crowd loves you. Night.
Good night.
Oh, that was great, wasn't it? Yes. Anti-social media. Bomber's talking about anti-social media. Yeah, it's not your typical social media. MeWe does not have the all the crap you have to wade through on Facebook. So please go that way. Come and see us. We don't spend a lot of time chitty-chatting in there, but we do sometimes, and it's just a place to kind of hang our hat and leave our posts for each other. I leave a lot of posts in there that are help. Like I leave a lot of the solfeggios and right frequencies and binaural beats and stuff that you can play for different melodies and situations. And there are some of them that are even designed to help you with gang stalking, and some of them that are designed to help you with all kinds of ailments, and some that are for a better mood. And I mean, all kinds of things are available to us now that were not available earlier, and they were, because sound is vibration, and vibration is really all there is. And once you realize that, then you realize how these things can actually help us. And Paul, he is Rainbow Gardens at, oh geez, I should have had this ready. At Roadrunner. Gosh, I should have this memorized. It's on the last time I had Paul. I had it loaded up and memorized. But he's Rainbow Gardens at rr.neo.com or something like that. I'll have to get that. address again. He does have a website. He doesn't check it much. He's not online a lot. He really doesn't go online a lot because he's smart. I mean, you don't want to be online too long. I mean, we've got our ways of finding out news. Is very good for finding out things. We can find it out very fast on our media platforms, but on the other hand, there's a lot of stuff we have to go through. A lot of stuff to wade through on these social media platforms. So he mostly isn't on them too much. And actually, most of us in here, we only go to sites like this. We only go to like channels that are kind of like this, most of us. Bomber says summer's typically slower time. Anyway, it's really not a busy place this time of year in MeWe. That's true. So basically, yeah, we all love gossip. So this reading I did, Gemini Moon had a reading today with me, and it was very deep, very deep. And it was interesting because it led to a reading about us in general. And it was a very deep reading too. And a lot of aspects of it were very similar to her personal reading. And that is when I realized I have to remind you that what you are going through, we are going through collectively too. The whole human race is going to be going through this. And the fact that you're getting there first is giving you a chance. I mean, some of us, we've already had the bombs dropped on us, so to speak. Whoa, that isn't true. Whoa, that's an outright lie. Whoa, you can't trust any of this. We've already had that. There's going to be some people just will not be able to handle that. So we have to be prepared. And Black Dragon says, hello, Black Dragon. Black Dragon says, I have a shovel. Well, that's going to help a bit, I guess. You're going to need a pretty big shovel. You might need a bulldozer. Yeah, and YouTube, certain YouTube channels. I don't go to every single one of them and chat, but I hang around, yeah, and MeWe chat. I don't chat much anywhere else. Yeah, Paul has been reading. I mean, he's a reader, like me. He's a reader. We read for a while, I think we were trying to see who could have more books in their library, but I don't have room anymore, so I can't stack any more books up. I need like 3 more bookcases, really. How deep do you want to go? Oh dear. How deep do you want to go? Well, Black Dragon, that is kind of personal, don't you think? But and don't tell me just the tip. Anyway, yeah, I am that bad. I'm a very bad. I'm bad. I'm bad. I'm nationwide. Okay, I have a very ribald sense of humor, and but that's one of the reasons y'all love me, right? That's right. And Bomber says the deeper the better. Oh, there you go. That's right. Till I get tired, then more, says Circle K. Well, we have wild women in here. Any of the men that aren't getting in here, you really need to look for a woman in here. Only thing is, we are all very strong take charge women mostly in here. From what I know of many of you, you're strong take charge type women and better know it. So life skills are going to be life skills are going to be totally life-saving in the future. That's true. Dragon hide. Dragon says I need to hide. Well, dragon hide must be pretty valuable. Oh, no, we're not going to take your hide. Don't worry. No, you don't have to hide. I'm leaving bacon out for you, black dragon. By the way, did I bring it? I gotta see if I brought it. Maybe this is it here. Yeah, maybe this is it. I have gotten a box from Amazon. And by the way, no, this is not the one. Okay, this is not the box. I got a new abalone shell, so my broken abalone shell, it's now got a successor, and it is a kind of a rare red abalone shell. So it's even cooler than the one I had before in some ways. So I'll be bringing that out soon. Oh, you're innocent, and we corrupted you, and you loved it. Okay. uh, okay. Yeah, we have some rowdy women in here. I tell you, we got wild women don't get the blues or something like that. They used to say wild witches don't get the blues. I think I might rephrase that slightly, but anyway, I just want to say for those of you who are wondering what the rest of the year, what the rest of the summer, and yes, it's a hot one. It's freaking hot. And it's due to go even up in August. Hopefully, I think by the end of August, we might get a break. At least that seems to be the pattern. We might get a break. But we're about to see the sandcastles just go. Okay. And you can quote me on that. Good luck spelling. But, ooh, I'm going out to dinner smell. Ooh, that's nice. Great men's cologne in the kitchen. Ooh, an omen. Woohoo! Sounds good. I'd certainly go for that. We're going to have, like I said, when the truth starts coming out, there are going to be some truths that are so bad, even we are going to be shocked by them. So, put on your armor when you read things, and when you hear things, just kind of, don't let it sink in too deep. Okay, just take it as information. Just information. Be the observer. Some of it's just we're going to be celebrating because we're going to be going, yay! Ding dong is dead. The witch. Yeah. Yes. We're going to see, and I can't say their names, but we're going to see 3 people in this country, 3 people that need to leave office. It looks like, and they all 3 need to go at once, because if it gets passed down, you need to go like in very rapid succession or all at once. And I'm sure you know who I'm talking about, but I'm not going to say names. In this country, which we're in the US, looks like all 3 of them are going down. and not too far distant future. And then a lot of shit's going to hit the fan. And when it does, and when the media totally abandons the false narratives, whoa. Get out your raincoat, because that stuff's going to fly far and wide. And that looks like it's going to be happening by this fall, hopefully. Oh, you're out of bacon? Oh, geez. I got to make a shopping trip too. I'm running low. Gotta have bacon. No, 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 no. Okay. The next Circle K says, I always said the next man in my life, it better smell like Christmas or something. I don't know whether tonight's really the night to go into this. Do you guys want to hear about this card reading about the whole world? Do you want to hear what it says? Because basically, well, I've summed it up in a nutshell, but there are some details. I think I'll make it another night because there's a lot in here, and I may even shorten it and paraphrase it a bit. But the gist of it is we're where we are for a reason, and you're going to get called to where you are going to get called to for a reason. But some of us have been placed where we are because we need to deal with something in that area before we can move on. But I do want to tell you that in the future, and this is what really sparked it, is we were talking about travel. But honestly, after things get out and the dust settles, when the dust settles, it's going to be easier to travel than it has ever been, and it won't be any airport situation, okay? As a matter of fact, airplanes are going to be old hat at some point. Okay, you want to hear about it? Okay. I'm going to turn the camera around and I'm going to show you because I left it out. Okay, hang on. Come on, you can do it. It's a little slow, but you can do it. Come on. Okay, let me take the camera dolly out of the way. Okay, and here is the reading. Looks like a freaking mess, I know, but what happened is we were talking about traveling, and by golly, I just got smacked with something. I'd been having chills the whole reading, and that big things were afoot, and Gemini is in the Great Lakes region, and so am I. And there's so much stuff in the Great Lakes region that we're here for a reason, okay? Without getting very personal, we're obviously here for a reason. We're in the Great Lakes area for now. We've got work to do before we can leave it. But when we leave it, it'll be probably pretty easy to go wherever we want to go. It won't be so hard. So, yes. Okay, and people are saying, yes, 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 want to see the reading. Okay, so it started out with me saying, oh, yes, it's going to be much easier to travel at some point. But what does this mean? There's a bigger picture here. So the first thing that came out was arrow. Truth is protection in the East. On top of butterfly, there's going to be a transformation. and the truth comes out. And it transforms, the truth will transform everything, this whole society, when it comes out. But before that happens, just what we've been talking about, we got to get rid of the crap. The sweat lodge is about purification. And the snake on top of it, that's about shedding the past. So before we can even get to this part, we need to get to this part. We need to do this. We need to take care of this. This is also about healing. This is also about protecting your eggs, protecting your ideas for the future. But this is all about a need for purification to get rid of the junk, get rid of the crap. And that's what we're going to be doing for a while. Okay. So that's why I felt it very important to bring that up as part of what I'm saying. We got to get to it. I got to do it too. I'm having my time getting through my storage unit that I brought home the stuff from, and it's really grueling work, but I got to get through it. And going to be purge, and give away, and sell, and whatever. Okay. But as a whole, I could feel over here in the East, and this is mental. This is mental realm. This is air over here. Mentally, it's going to just tear people up. A lot of people are going to be very torn up by the truth. That old saying about, oh, well, hello, Marilena, you finally made it in. It's a reading for all of us workers, all of us light workers, all of us energy workers, all of us white hats, and basically the world too. But I could feel all of the pain. I could feel all the angst. I could feel all the anguish. I could feel everything when this came out the first time. It's like, oh, ow, ow, ow. As it comes out, it's going to hurt coming out like it hurt going in. Okay. Yeah, you can make jokes about that, but it's not that funny. Okay. Some people are really going to recriminate themselves for being a part of it without even knowing it. A lot of people have been part of things without their knowing, and they're going to. And of course, there have been deaths, there have been all kinds of pain, all kinds of destruction. And when they find out it wasn't necessary that it go that way, yes, are they going to feel bad? Yes, a lot of people will. And we're going to have to be there for them, and we're going to have to be in balance in order to be able to take that. Yeah, you know what? It might be Denali, because it was really, really, I felt a lot of pain. I felt, and yeah, it's going to be like that. It's going to be a bad burn for some people. It's going to be a burn for some people. But down here in the South is cradleboard, which is a responsibility that's like a baby. It can be a birth. It can actually be a baby, but it can be a birth or a rebirth. And Spider is on top of it. And Spider says, a lot of times Spider is about gathering what you need with what you make. You create some kind of art or beauty, and that gets you your what you need, your food, so to speak. But it is also, in this deck, it is also about the shapes in the web that are how the Cherokee ended up with a language. It is said that Spider taught the Cherokee a written language, and the book Charlotte's Web was based on that. So it is the words, written words, but it has even yet another meaning. In this age of internet, you notice it is a net. So this means that a lot of things are going to happen via internet. Okay, a rebirth happens, a lot of it via internet. And a lot of this is going to go, you're going to do something, you're going to put it online, and probably everybody going to put it online or have this. And if it is in this web, it'll be some kind of web. There'll be something like an internet if it isn't this particular internet. However, now the hour of power is a ritual of joy, and we'll all be much happier. We'll all be much happier when this system comes in. It's a new system. The bat is another death rebirth. You see, we got a birth here. Bat is saying it's not all about death and dying. It's also about birthing something. Okay. So something's got to die for something to be born. And when you're trying to change an old paradigm, it doesn't work to try to fix the old paradigm. What works is make a better product available. People will find out it's a better product. They'll start using it pretty soon. They'll start to drop the old way. Hopefully, that's the way this is going to go, and I think it will. It's gradually going to make its way in. I don't think they're going to like drop the bomb on us, boom. And I think literally or figuratively, I don't think it's going to be quite like that. I think the powers that are now are going to try and make this as easy as they can, as gentle as they can, realizing that people are kind of sensitive right now because they've been beat around quite a bit. And a lot of people here, look at this, right across from the truth and the change and the getting rid of the junk is fire medicine, which is both passion and it can also be anger. Burn. Here we go with burn. And this is in the direction, oddly enough, of water. This is the West. People are going to be freaking angry about this. There will be drama. Possum is drama. And playing dead. And let's say there are many times I have played dead when I had to, so to speak. But possum is drama. I'm getting heavy drama. Very dramatic. Okay. In the West, and that's why the West, maybe that's why the West is burning figuratively and literally. The burden basket is about self-reliance. And I got an even additional thing. This burden basket made sure that the elderly were not taken advantage of. They only had to carry what would fit in that basket. Okay. So this is to protect the vulnerable. This is self-reliance. You know what? I think it's also talking about not being reliant on all these other people for our energy, our food, our whatever, but actually doing more things ourselves. Whether that be ourselves as a country or individually, that's going to happen. And when we get that, we get power. Here's the horse. Power and direction, and we can go any direction on this horse. We can get from A to B much faster than we were going on that horse. Okay. So this is the goals and dreams area. And this is also in the fall. So we're going to start to see this in the fall, I think. Probably. Now down here, like I said, we're still going to be going through the death a little bit longer. The death of the old way a little bit longer, and something new being born pretty much on top of each other. Okay. This is the card that started it all. Peyote ceremony. New abilities. I said, I feel like we're going to have different abilities soon. we're going to be actually surprised what has been kept secret. Okay? Because I think secret technologies are going to start to come out. When that happens, looks like it's not till at least winter. But when the secrets start to come out, we're going to start to get a few of them. I think they're going to be drip, drip, drip for a while, and then it'll multiply. It'll start to come much quicker. So I don't think it's going to happen all at once, but it's going to be slow at first. But then look at this rite of passage, just what we were talking about. We're going to be able to get places. Okay. This is moving on. This is also change of life, changing our life. And this is Earth Connection Empowerment. This is moving. These two cards together almost always mean moving. Okay. And this is for all of us. The cards that are coming with that is Antelope. You're going to do it now. I mean, you're going to do it in a timely manner. You're going to do what you have to do. I mean, this card is all about doing what you have to do. And when this happens, we're just all going to get up and go. Okay? We're going to go where we need to go. We're going to get some help from our serious friends. Okay? I believe this is not just help from our friends. This is dog. This is a loyalty and friendship. A friend. I believe we are going to get help from Sirius. Okay? From the Sirius star system. Our friends and relatives from that system. Okay? Because I was on the ship on Friday. Okay, and then this card I'm going to read later. Let me show you the middle card now. Over here in the middle. Painted face, which is self-expression. Painted face is self-expression. So we have a greater ability to share our knowledge than ever and share who we are than ever before when this process is through. This is what we get. Now, and Shawl, we finally feel we're returning home. Returning home. We finally can feel safe and at home in the world, in wherever it is we are, we will feel safe and at home. Now, this is the surprise. This is the surprise. The animals associated with this are a lizard and an owl. And we have very negative associations right now with some of this. I mean, some people, and I gotta say, not all lizards are bad. And owls we associate with, well, you know what we associate owls with, other than the good stuff. But we are going to be taking back, this is the divine female, because owl is the counterpart of the male eagle. This is a more feminine energy. And so we take back the divine feminine and the power and the wisdom of the divine feminine. And these things become good again. And I also got a message from the good dragons and Black Dragon. I'm so glad you're here. I'm so glad you're here. Yeah, we're light ninjas. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. And basically, Black needs a snack. Yes. Mm-hmm. And images, something's. Yeah, I have to go back and look at this. The diagram of an old book where runes were drawn into a circle, but it looked like a teaching tool and a primer of sorts, and it probably was. And Black Dragon is saying bacon web. Okay. Yes. Well, this is very interesting. We ate the secret, and of course, Black Dragon wants bacon web. Okay. But yeah, I got a ping that the good dragons are going to come forward, that they actually want to be our friends and they want to help us, and they are going to come forward and help us. So the their word, were there dragons? I got a definite yes. Is dragon a real thing? Yes, it really is. Not fictional, not fictional at all. And are they good or bad? Yeah, they are. They're good and bad. Depends on how you look at it. But they're a lot like us. We're a mixed bag, and so are they. But the good guys wanna be allies again. Okay, so I think we're going to see the return of the dragons. Now, look at this. Said, now what was the question? Is Gemini still here? Gemini asked me a question, and it got a great big yes. Victory, yes. Counting coup is that's definitely a yes card. And the link though is secrets. And honestly, we've got a victory coming up, and the link though is a lot of secrets. Okay, now this is interesting because the card over here from the animal spirit cards is also a lynx. We have got secrets. Okay, we know a lot of secrets, and the lynx card says keeper of secrets. Take time out from the world and be the observer. Nothing can deceive you when you trust your knowing. You see other secrets and keep them sacred. In silence and solitude, you will find your strength. Pretty links. Big secrets coming out, and this was in the east and also in the center. I think a lot of secret technologies are coming out. When the secrets come out, at first it's going to hurt, then it's going to be wonderful. The secrets that come out will then be wonderful, but we got to keep everything a secret until the right time so that it doesn't go the wrong way. And that's why the secrets are being kept. Okay. So, oh, we are the secret. I'm gonna say, maybe they ate the secret. Maybe it was bacon. I don't know. Maybe the secret is bacon. Um, okay. Bacon might be the secret. Yeah, we have to keep some things hidden until the right time. Now, it's interesting because in the center here, snow leopard is self-reliance again. Self-reliance over here, self-reliance over here. Okay, see, secrets here, secrets here. Self-reliance over here in the west, water. Self-reliance over here in the center. And it says, you are strongly independent and often solitary. Integrity is important for your best outcome. Cloak yourself with invisibility and walk with shamans. Use your intuition and let your life unfold in silent perfection. Once again, this is a lot about spending time alone and knowing a lot and not saying everything you know. And very interesting that this keeps coming up as a message. Okay, down here, this is often the place of the heart too, by the way. It's the place of the child, sometimes the inner child. This is the south. This is fire. So this is energy. This is air. This is water. This is fire down here. Fire is about passion, love, that sort of thing. And can be the heart. Matters of the heart can be here. And as I said, we're going to be pretty happy when things finally get birthed and after the dust settles, so to speak. And that is butterfly. Once again, a We got butterfly over here. Look at how connected this reading is. Butterfly over here, butterfly over here. Butterfly, rebirth, sitting right on top of the bat. Does it get any more perfect of a reading than that? It's like it's emphasizing. No, I'm not talking about death. Everything's not going to die. There's going to be a rebirth, and it's going to be a big rebirth. It's going to be a huge transformation of your society. It says you can reinvent yourself. Look how many. You know who was the master of reinventing himself was David Bowie. So, and he's on our side. So, in the afterworld, but he's on our side. So, yeah, reinvent yourself. Open to the rewards of change. You have brilliance to share with the world. Love every part of your journey. That is the butterfly. And that, look at how connected this all is. This is so connected, all of it, all of it. Here, the wolf, the pathfinder, here in goals and dreams, and the emotions. Release your past, just like it says over here, and start a new journey. You're a teacher and help others find their way. There will be challenges, but your soul is strong. Perseverance is your secret power. You have a love that endures. That is the wolf. Right here, across from here. Isn't that amazing? Amazing. The Pathfinder. That's why I said it's necessary for me to tell you. Remember, you are the Pathfinders. You're the ones that are going to find your way. And by finding your way through all of this, you're going to be blazing a trail for everybody that comes behind you, everybody that comes after you. You're very sacred. What you're doing now is very sacred work. Realize that. And very necessary. Whatever you're going through right now, you're doing it not just for yourself, but for everybody that's coming after you. Swan. Swan up there in the north, which is the place of the elder and the home, and also solidity. That is basically earth. Swan is grace. You who glides across the waters of my soul, bring me your wisdom and light. Help me transform into elegance and grace. Inspire me with dignity and the spirit of beauty. And Paul mentioned grace tonight in his talk. And this is so true. Let me give you a definition of grace that's going to help. Grace is an unearned good. Okay? We're going to get some gifts that we did not have to earn. We did not have to work for. They're just given. They're just bestowed by Spirit, by God, if you will, just bestowed upon us. We're going to get some wonderful things, and you're not going to have to work to get them. They're just going to be there. So this is very positive. So really, it ends well, folks. It ends well. Don't ever be afraid. It ends well. Now, we asked about something else. Gemini's not here. Doggone, Gemini's not here. I can't remember what she asked, but we got Shaman's death and Fox. But Shaman's death is a lot about. It's also not a physical death. Usually, it is a death of a lifestyle, an idea, a paradigm, your thought, your way of thinking, and you emerge a different person. And Fox is being clever and watching what's really going on, carefully watching, and see how the fox is watching. Okay. And also she asked another question, and it was Heyoka and Dolphin. Yes, this was about the dragons. Ha ha ha! You thought we were fiction, and The dolphins in dream time. Okay, so we're going to meet the dragons, the good guy dragons, in the dream time. Dolphin is a dreamtime guardian. They're going to come into our dreams. Remember, they may not look like what you think. Dragons can look like anything or anyone. So you might have some rather interesting dreams coming up and realize that you need to laugh, okay? Have a sense of humor about everything when you find out whatever it is you find out. Okay, so you see a light dragon in the water near your house. That's great. Do you see what I see? Do you hear what I hear? Yes. You get self-reliance a lot. Well, Denali, that kind of figures. I think we all pretty much love dragons. I certainly have a lot of them around my house. And I mean as decoration, but also I've known a dragon or two. And most of us do spend a lot of time alone. And this is not a bad thing. You need to be alone sometimes. Yes, rebirth. Let's see, secret. I have a secret. Some in my skin. I'm not what you see. Oh, Mr. Roboto. Mr. Roboto. I'm just a man whose circumstances are beyond my control. Yeah. Like Dolores Cannon said, yeah. Yep. Release your past. We're doing it. And we're doing it to show the whole world how to do it. By the time the rest of them need to do it, we'll be able to say, hey, this is how I did it. Okay? This is how you do it. And they're all going to have to do it. They're all going to have to release their past. And wow, is that going to be, like I said, at first it's going to be ugly. Remember, we got one up here. Remember the story of the ugly duckling? At first, there's an ugly duckling, and everybody's like, oh, so funny looking. But as time goes on, that duckling grows up to actually be a swan, a beautiful swan. Okay? So it's going to be ugly at first, but it's going to grow up to be beautiful. So this baby that we're birthing, this new reality that we're birthing, that we have responsibility to, the ability to respond. What we're birthing is going to be beautiful as it grows up. Give it a little time. Yes, yes. Killer whales show up in your dreams. They are the largest of the dolphin family, yes. Yes. Dolphins are said to be the Dreamtime Guardian, one of the Dreamtime Guardians. So it also has to do with breathing. It's like doing breathing exercises to get you into an altered state when that card comes up. And mind your breathing. So anyway, I thought I wanted to share this with you because it was so deep and so beautiful and such a wonderful positive message, as ugly as it looks, and it will look very ugly. It will be beautiful when we're done with it. It will literally be beautiful. It will be a whole different thing, whole different system. Everything. Travel is going to be, I even see, yes, one of these was about, are we going to have like portal travel? Like it's, I keep seeing, we're going to have something that's almost instantaneous. You're not even going to need a plane. I think they have been developing things for a long time. They're not letting us know about. And when that comes out, it's just going to revolutionize everything. I think we're going to have free energy. I think we're going to have the ability to travel anywhere in the world we want, almost instantaneously, if not instantaneously. Just like my remembrances. I mean, I have a memory of a place like that where we could just walk through what looked like a door and be somewhere else. Okay, so it's going to be like that. And I just heard I was just listening to a video today about the Montauk Project and all that sort of thing. That was a sort of an interdimensional thing. They've been working on this stuff. They've been working on the portals and stuff, and they've been working on traveling with, without having to go through, traveling from A to B without having to go through all the stops in between. It's been going on a long time. We're going to have that technology. It's all going to be so worth it in the end. But meantime, oh, you have this dream of walking through a portal to Hawaii often. Yes. It looks like you're going to be able to do that. Yeah, teleportation. Yeah, it ends very well. Black Dragon, you may be quite surprised. When the world changes, I don't know what you look like now, and I am not very judgmental about that sort of thing. However, you may be surprised when you are healthy and eating good food and not being poisoned constantly by everything around you. You might actually find you become beautiful. You may find yourself looking very good. Healthy people do look better. As I get healthier, I'm looking at myself. I'm looking better. Um, Healthy people look better. Philadelphia experiment. That's right. Philadelphia experiment. I was hearing about that, and it was like they were kind of touching on that, but he couldn't go completely. He couldn't talk about it completely. He said there are things he just could not talk about, and I understand. He doesn't. He wants to stay alive and his family, right? So that would be nice. Go to the beach for the day and back home at night. Yeah. Oh, and Marilena says my hair stopped going gray. Yeah. You know what? All kinds of changes happen when you stop poisoning yourself. And so far, I haven't had to give up meat, although Marilena has. I heard about that. But her diet has changed in her attitude too. And for her diet is correct because she's getting better. Whatever your diet is that's right for you, some people are meat eaters. Some people get better eating all meat. I mean, I think it was Jordan Peterson that was talking about that. He's on an all meat diet right now, and he doesn't deviate from it, and it solved his problem. Whereas other people go on an all vegan diet, it solves all their health problems. It just depends on which one of these things works for you. And the main thing is quit poisoning yourself. Quit giving yourself the wrong fuel. Quit putting yourself in the wrong environment, in an environment that hurts you. Give yourself the best possible chance to get better. And your body will naturally start doing that. And as you get more well, you'll also get more beautiful. So it seems like, and Black Dragon says, Ocean, I'm not like anyone else. Well, you certainly are not. But then again, neither am I. If you only knew. But we're not going to go into that today. Yeah, I'm kind of halfway thinking calling it the watermelon diet or the Chinese takeout food diet, or yeah, I don't know what to call what I am doing right now. But yeah, my hair is coming back. Yeah, and some of us are meat eaters. We just are. Yeah, he's a total carnivore. Yeah, and his daughter healed her autoimmune issues by going total carnivore. Yeah. Whereas some people need a vegan diet. That's the way they are. I mean, we have got to quit judging and trying to make a one size fits all diet, a one size fits all solution. I don't think it goes like that. I don't think one size fits all is going to ever really happen. The only one size fits all is possibly love. Okay, one one size love, a lot of it. That goes for all of us. That works for everybody. Okay. Other than that, I don't think there is a one size fits all, or a one diet fits all, or a one routine fits all, or any of that. I think you have to be an individual and find your individual way. And this is why it keeps coming up with self-reliance. It's coming up over and over again. Self-reliance. People are finally going to realize cookie cutter approach does not work. People are individuals. And they need individual things. They need things to go an individual way. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Everyone needs to find the thing that works for them. Oh, vegetarian. Yeah. No, I know a person who's been helped a lot by raw vegan. She's crazy about raw vegan, and more power to her. And there are other people who have gotten rid of every problem with carnivore diet. I mean, how different can you get? And it works. Both of them work. How do you explain that? Well, people are different. People are different. And I think our human bodies were really designed to be able to use whatever came along. I think we're opportunistic omnivores. Or some people have said opportunivores. I think that's what we are. Kind of like bears. We'll eat whatever we can, whatever we have to survive. We'll find a way to metabolize that. We're very adaptable that way. Ah. Oh, and Marilena says she loves cheese, but you have to be careful how much. Yeah, well, that's a lot of it too. I have a little bit of sugar, but not much, and I make sure that it's raw organic sugar. But but I don't really eat very much of that. If I'm eating something sweet, I'm usually eating a melon or a piece of fruit for about a week. I was a fruitarian without meaning to be. I was totally a fruitarian because all I could keep down was lemon water, my lemon water that I make my unsweetened lemonade, lemon limeade, ginger, lemon lime ginger, and the other thing was watermelon, and that was all that would stay down. That was it for about a week. Nothing else would work. So I don't know. For about a week, I was a fruitarian. I was a watermelon-tarian. I don't know what you'd call that. Hmm? Yeah, always send universal energy and not your own. Yes, that's right. Send universal energy. You don't need to send your own. Yes. My place is gridded with selenite now, and it's kind of on automatic. My angels are patrolling, and not much gets. I haven't had anything get in here bad in quite a long time. So you can't properly digest cheese, but you eat it. You know what? You know how they say you can't really digest corn? It's funny. I found I watched a video about people who eat mostly corn and live to be over 100. But it's an ancient grain type thing. It's an heirloom corn that they're eating. And I found a farmer that uses non-GMO corn like when I was a kid. This is corn like when I was a kid. And I find that I can digest it just fine. Usually, if I have sweet corn, I love it and I have it sometimes and it bothers me. But this corn did not bother my stomach at all. I didn't have any gastric distress at all from this corn. So I'm going to have to say, if there's something you're craving and you're having gastric problems with it, it may be something about it that's not quite right. Like, I don't know if you guys know this, but shredded cheese in a package has been sprayed with disinfectants. I only found this out recently. And sliced cheese too. You're better off getting a solid block of cheese and cutting it up yourself, because they do horrible things to processed food. And one of them is spray antiseptic on it. They forget this has got to be food. Mm. Oh yeah, you'd buy about 8 watermelon and live off. Yes, I swear you can do it. Cinnamon. Oh, what? Your kitty cat, Cinnamon? Screamed at the open door? Oh, yes, I love watermelons. Dragon, do you love watermelons? Oh, omega vitamins cured your depression, Circle K. That's cute. That's cute. Yeah, they spray commercial cornfields with herbicides. They do. Um, yeah. Uh, so this farmer's corn did not bother me. Why? Because it's real corn, first of all. And second of all, because they didn't spray it to death with a bunch of chemicals. Because they use minimal sprays on everything. They just use the very minimum they can on all their stuff. So their stuff is pretty safe to eat. It's not always 100% organic, but it's very darn close. Okay. So, or at least I haven't had any problems with any of their stuff. So, papaya. Oh, yes, papaya is wonderful. Watermelon. Yeah, and it's very hydrating. Watermelon is very hydrating and very cleansing. It is. So being on watermelon for a watermelon and lemon water for a week, I felt a lot better after that. I gotta tell you, that was the bomb, really. When I came off of that, I'm feeling much better. I may do that again just on purpose. So, okay, well, hey, this is cool. I got 42% left on my phone, so I'm not too far down. My phone seems to be lasting, even in spite of the problems I had in the beginning. Um, they spray aluminum into the air, and aluminum causes short memory and other mental conditions. Yeah. I think a lot of this stuff they add is, I mean, me being diagnosed with fibro, I think fibro is really an amalgamation of a lot of crap being thrown at us and our bodies saying, okay, that's it. I'm done. I'm not putting up with it anymore. And just saying, forget it. Because it's too much. I think some of us have just been overdosed with crap, and our bodies are just like, okay, I can't handle one more thing. I'm going to give you problems until you clean it up. And the more a person with fibro cleans up their diet, the better off they are and the better they feel. That is something that I hear again and again. So if you have fibro, you're being poisoned. I believe it is really a result of being poisoned, and probably all autoimmune diseases are systemic poison, because your system is perfectly capable of healing itself. It was designed that way, and people forget that. And it's as if they want us to forget that, okay? That the medical system wants us to forget that our bodies were really designed to heal and should be able to heal on their own if we had a level playing field. And some people have a really good immune system that even in spite of everything, they still heal. How long would we be living? Probably 200 years if we weren't being systematically poisoned. Because we're supposed to be living 200 years. So once this change happens, what do you think is going to happen? People are going to be living longer, and they're going to be living better. And there's not going to be this ticking time. You know, it's not going to be such pressure to get things done. Life can be a little bit slower. Knocking melons does nothing, says Bomber. Uh-huh. Well, actually, I've found knocking melons, actually, if they kind of hollow sounding, they're better. If they're not so good. I don't know why. I have no idea why knocking on watermelons works for me, but it works for me. So, and if they don't sound kind of hollow, they're not generally not that good. I don't know why. Don't be knocking my melons, says Denali Princess. Don't be knocking my melons either. Don't be knocking my melons. Yeah, aluminum sticks to the brain and causes misfires. Yes, it certainly does. Aluminum is not our best friend, really. And really, if you think about it, right about the time they were introducing everything else to kill us, they were introducing everybody should cook with Reynolds wrap, with aluminum foil. Aluminum in everything. Aluminum pans, aluminum everything. Aluminum. Aluminum. Yes. This is not good. Let me tell you, people, it's not good. Aluminum foil has its purposes, like if you can't find your pipe. But other than that, I'm not even sure that's a good use. But yeah, it's basically, yeah, you got to watch it. Aluminum and fluoride. Yeah, fluoride, really bad. Yeah. If the sunspot is wishy-washy or there are more than one, it means the watermelon was moved or covered by leaves. It needs full sun, perfect brown sunspot that is deep bright yellow, not light yellow. Okay. And that is Bomber's expert advice on getting a watermelon that works for you. Yeah, aluminum has a low melting point too. Aluminum can get into your food just way too easy. Okay. So you gotta be careful with that stuff. And there are so many things like that. Oh, geez. When we finally get that cleaned up, I think we're going to easily live 200 years. We're all going to be beautiful. We're going to be the right size. When we're eating whole food, clean food, we're going to be the right size, a perfect size. We're going to be the perfect shape. We're going to be all going to be beautiful. And we're all going to be healthy. And we're all going to live a life, be able to live our lives, okay, without a lot of pain and anguish and all that crap. I think that's really how it's meant to be, but we've kind of been denied that. We've definitely been denied that. So you guys, artificially fertilized. Oh, cantaloupe. Cantaloupe. Like I said, I got a cantaloupe from this farmer that is huge, volleyball size. And they're not putting rapid grow on it, but it's been a good year. Well, we might want to do some talk about canning and fermenting. in here at some point. Although usually I save that kind of thing for Frugal B1TCH. And I really got to work on Frugal B1TCH channel. And you guys tell me what you think about this. Should Cowboy have his own channel? You peed on yours. It's natural. Yes, it sure is. And that's what really makes me wonder. It's like, what if a dog, when you're out foraging, what if a dog peed on it? Well, when you're getting stuff from the supermarket picked by a migrant laborer, what if a person peed on it? You don't know what peed on it. How do you know? Right. There you go. And they might have done something even more on it. You don't know. So worm pee is fertilizer. Well, yeah, well, honestly, it can be. And actually, there are people who have devoted videos to that. How, yeah, you can very easily turn our waste products into a really rich fertilizer. It's not hard to do. Just takes a little time, takes about a year. After about a year, you go back to it, and there's ways to do it. You mix it with hay, or you mix it with wood chips, or whatever you mix it with. And eventually, it becomes a very rich soil to grow, to put on your plants. And nothing is left behind. I mean, there's not bits of anything in it. So as long as you are, well, think about it. Unless you're a heavily medicated person, you're not going to be adding all that to the fertilizer. So if you're eating all natural and you're excreting all natural, then it's going to naturally turn into what it did. I mean, that's how the forest works. Stuff out in nature. It excretes all, animals excrete. Come on, all over the place. So yeah, our excretions are no exception. But of course, you want to let them go from what they call hot or full of bacteria. Let the bacteria do their work and turn it into fertilizer. And it takes a little while for that to do. Oh, a blue jay dropping. Oh, blue jay where was bombing you, huh? Bombs away. Yes. Ah, yes. Mm, gotta watch that. Okay. Bird pee is all around. Watermelon advice is 100% accurate. Okay. I believe you. There's reason why some people like salt on melons. That's true. And I do sometimes. And I added a little to mine when I was on my watermelon diet. Yes. Ooh. Being pooped on by a bird is good luck unless you're wearing your good clothes. And they stain easy unless you're wearing white. Then it's not so good. Woo! Yes. A happy bird is a dirty bird. Ah! That's funny. You guys are so funny. Honest to God, we have the best damn chat room. We really do. Okay, I guess I can put these cards away, but I love this reading so much. This is such a cool reading. I had to share it with you. I hope you liked it. This is such a good reading. I almost don't want to put it away. I want to keep adding energy to it. Yes, yes, yes. Yes. And let it be maybe a little less ugly. a little less ugly than it looks like it's going to be. But maybe it has to be ugly at first to make people happy about the change. Because people won't change if it doesn't hurt, usually. If something's not hurting them, they're not going to change anything. So I really believe that maybe the ugly is going to help along some people that would be dragging their feet otherwise. Yeah, I'm so glad I could share a nice reading like this with you. A reading like this, it's fantastic. I had chills. So I'm gonna put it away though. Time to put it away. It was great reading. And it's recorded. I recorded it all on here, so we can always return to it. Now that it's on, now that it is recorded. Wow, but we spent like 3 hours on the phone, seriously, guys. So, that's just the way we roll some days. And we were both so like, so what then? So what then? It's like, well, let's find out. What's the questions, okay? And the answers were so intriguing that we just had to keep going for a while. Hoo-ha! Okay, so glad I could bring you that message. That makes me very, very, very happy. Very happy. Now is time to say goodbye to all our family. Yes, I love hanging out with you guys, but my phone is letting me know it's that time. Yes, and you know what? I love you. You, all of you in chat, you are cool people. Really, really, really love you. And remember, truth is where you find it. I hope you're finding some on my show. And like we said, some of the truth we've got to keep to ourselves until it's the right time. So we know some things. One day it will be time to bring that out. Okay, so it's going to be beautiful. It's going to be wonderful. You are divine. You are creators. So create well. And when you sleep, dream well. And I'll see you next time. I'll see you on Wednesday at 8:30. If you want to get in touch with me, I'm oceandiana@gmail.com. You feel like tipping me? It's paypal.me/oceandiana. And if you want a reading, you can get in touch with me in MeWe, or you can get in touch with me through email. Have a wonderful evening. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Don't forget to send this to your friends if it helped you. If the information was good, you can maybe give them a little bit of hope with that last part there. And comment when it comes, when you get a chance. And I really appreciate all of my subscribers. Okay, and good night, my dear family. Oh, heck yeah, there's a strong energy close to Marilena. You bet there is. We'll talk later, man. You know what? I probably should talk to you a little bit, Marilena, before I go. I should say there's a few of you I probably need to talk to. So we're going to have to get together and have a little talk. Okay? Good night.